Hello everyone, this is the last and final chapter. I call it the Elastic Data bonus chapter. So in the previous three chapters we showed what is the type of solution we're trying to build. The first episode was about the problem, the limit of the standard balanced data distributor. The second episode we showed how we made the design much more flexible and powerful using the COZYROC SSIS components, which are the data flow source, data flow destination, and the parallel loop task. In the third chapter we showed how we can use another mode inside the data flow destination component from COZYROC, which is giving us the ability to do multicast elastic type of processing. And now the final chapter that is going to conclude this series, it's about the following requirement. Let's say we would like to pull data from a database system. We would like to generate Parquet files, and we would like to directly upload these Parquet files into a remote system, let's say a secure FTP or Google Drive or something else. You know, in our case, we are going to be sending files to Azure Blob, and we would like to make this process to have all the data generated without any intermediate files or data landing anywhere. So everything is going to happen in memory. We're going to pull the data from the CSV file. We're going to package this input data into separate Parquet files, and we are going to upload this into Azure Blob storage container, and we're going to make this run in parallel as well. So it is going to be quite scalable type of process. Okay, so let's jump right into the demonstration and how to make this possible. So we already have our existing design, which is the loop, balanced loop multicast. We're going to create now another loop, which is going to be for sending the data to Azure Blob storage, and it is going to be a little bit more involved because it is going to take some extra steps, but it's not going to be that much more complicated. Let me just move things around so I can free some space. Sorry, but this is continuation of the series, so it is to be expected, I would say. And now we need to have another data flow which is going to be doing this extra processing, and actually, because it's going to be very I'm going to be using the balanced data distributor type of design, I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to reuse some parts. Actually, do you know what, I can copy the loop balanced and reuse it, copy and paste, because I already have some of the elements defined in it, and I don't want to spend extra time to define this element, so I can have more time for the other parts that are important. So this is going to be called upload, and we're going to return back the array to the previous definition, which is going to be using partitions. We're going to create 5 partitions, and go back. Okay, so we have to modify the part count to be 5. We want to have 5 partitions, and we're going to change the data flow destination to be again balanced. Okay, we have to modify the parallel loop task to execute the upload for each loop. Now, so we have the basic bones of the solution ready. So now we have to make some adjustments, you know, because we are going to be uploading to directly to Azure Bob. We have to change some parts. So the Parquet path is no longer going to be needed. This is going to be removed. And we're going to create a new variable which is going to be Parquet file. It is going to be located inside the multicast upload for each loop. Okay, and this one is going to be type of object, you know, because the file that we are going to be creating is going to be created in memory. So this is going to be type of object, and we are going to adjust the data flow source, the Parquet destination. So we're going to be using the new Parquet file variable. So this variable is going to store the content in memory of the data that is being generated for the Parquet file. Okay, now what we need to do is we have to set the name of the file that is going to be uploaded to the Parquet, to the Azure Bob container, and for that we are going to use a new action which is called set stream name, and this variable is going to contain the stream of the Parquet file, and for stream name we have to use a variable, and that variable is going to be it is going to be the item, and item upload. No, we don't need this one. The item name is coming from this function in JavaScript. Now set file name, and now we are going to use the COZYROC file transfer task to do the upload. Okay, so I was not able to exactly contain everything, but I'll try my best. Send stream. Now we're going to be uploading from a variable. So the local parameter is going to point to the variable containing the stream, and for the connection we are going to use a pre-configured already connection to the Azure Bob. I have already configured this, and for the remote we are going to just leave the root folder, nothing special here. Okay, and I think that should be it. Actually we have to connect set file name to send stream because we would like to set the name and then initiate the file upload. However, it is important to not to have a constraint between the upload and these two other elements, because we would like to do the sending of the stream in memory. So we don't want to wait for the upload data flow task to finish execution before we start sending the stream. Otherwise it is going to become stuck and the whole file is going to be in memory. So we would like to avoid this situation. So I think that should be it. I want to just go here and show you what the container looks like that I'm going to be uploading the file. Right now there is nothing here for these files. So let's just start the upload of the generated Parquet files and see whether we are getting any problems. So far no problems. It is pulling the data nicely, and it is actually pretty decent speed. So I'm not sure if you understand right now, but what we are doing right now is we are pulling the data in from a CSV file. One second, am I doing this properly? No. See, that's the problem. So we have to go back and delete everything. This thing, we don't need this. Let's start the process again. We have to change the one that we are going to be. Oh, no, not this one. We need this one to execute. Upload. Start. So we're pulling the data from a CSV file, which is 5 million rows. We are generating in parallel Parquet file for each partition, and we have 5 partitions in total. And then we are also uploading in memory the stream that is being generated for the Parquet file to the Azure Box storage container. So I'm not sure whether it's going to show anything before it completes the process, but let's just wait for the process to complete. It is actually doing pretty decent job, you know, in terms of performance. So we are almost ready. It is 5 million records. Let's see how much time it's going to take for this to complete the upload itself, because it is right now streaming the file. Probably this might be the slower part, you know, the upload of the file. So the generation itself was actually pretty fast, and right now it is completing the upload. So it is taking some time for this to complete. But again, you know, the memory is pretty much not changing. We are doing very efficient type of processing right now without much memory consumption, and we are utilizing as much as possible this powerful machine that we are running right now. No intermediate files, and let's just wait for this to complete. You know, this should probably be complete anytime soon. We have to upload, if I'm not mistaken, from the previous test, you know, the Parquet files were compressed, they were cut almost in half. You know, actually I've done some tests zipping the file. The CSV file is also compressing, approximately reduced in size in half. So the Parquet files are roughly similar amount of data, which means that the Parquet is actually very similar in terms of compression compared to the zip file, and the data is actually quite different. You know, it is not very easy to be compressed, you know, when the input data is, there is a lot of variety in it. But I think that we're going to be ready pretty soon. You know, let's see whether we have any network traffic, because this is going to give us an idea. Yes, as you can see that the process is actually doing something. It is sending data. This is essentially my internet speed, so 12 megabits per second. I would say that probably it might take a minute or two to finish, but I think that we are almost there. You know, it is going to be, it was doing this generation of the files, and obviously this part is done locally, so it is going to be pretty fast. And the part that is slow on this particular demonstration is the network. But with a decent network, you can easily imagine, you know, that we can be doing the data processing and the uploading and the network traffic simultaneously. So in this way, we are not wasting any time to finish the process. So this is the idea with this design, is that we don't have any intermediate data storage, which makes it the entire process very secure. We don't have any high memory consumption because everything is being streamed from the source system, which can be anything. It can be a database or it can be a CSV file. And then we are just grabbing this stream from the memory, setting the file name for the stream, and then uploading the stream to the remote storage where we need to have the data. And all of this is happening in parallel. So the process is done. Let's see what is the result. Do we get the final outcome that we expect? Yes, it looks like everything is here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 files that were uploaded, and this is actually exactly what we wanted to have. We got our data uploaded, and the process finished without any additional errors or any other problems. So this is the final chapter of the series. I'm glad that I have the opportunity to show you what our team is designing, and we are doing our best effort to make your solutions even more capable using SSS. And SSS has a bright future in front of it, and we're going to make sure that you're always going to get the best possible technology available with us. So if you have questions for us, we'll be more than happy to answer you these questions. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And as always, thank you for your time, and I hope that this content was useful, and hope to see you again really soon. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.